Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible, right? And I want to get into this thing. We're talking about the curses coming upon us, right? Talk about the curses, and that's just continuing from our heritage right before I step and start into camp, right? Look, now it's raining right now, but that's not gonna stop the work of the Lord. But this is Daniel 9, and I'm gonna start at 8. Daniel 9 and I'm gonna start at 5 actually. Daniel 9 and 5. We have sinned and have committed iniquity and have done wickedly and have rebelled, even by departing from thy precepts and from thy judgments. Neither have we hearkened unto thy servants the prophets, which spake in thy name to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. Right? And we're speaking right now, every day. Right? Every day we got lessons going up. Right? O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces as at this day. Like Israelites not knowing they're Israelites. Right? To the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespasses, that they have trespassed against thee. Right? O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. Right? And it's going into how we fell off from our heritage, right? Because if Israel knew they were Israel, then there wouldn't be confusion of face, right? Israel will just know. To the Lord our power belong mercies and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our power to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. And those laws came through Moses, right? When he was in the chariot, how the Most High wrote it with the on the tables of stone, right? Yeah, all Israel has transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. Right? This is, and he hath confirmed his word which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us, yet made we not our prayer back before the Lord our power, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. Therefore hath the Lord watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. For the Lord our power is righteous in all his works which he doeth, for we obey not his voice. Right? So I want to stop there. I want to go to get into these curses, right? The curses that were poured upon us. Right, and they don't want to talk about these curses. Definitely not. So this is Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. right? Just get straight into it. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Right? Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Not going like what we have and what we're selling. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kin and the flocks of thy sheep. Right? So we're gonna go through these elements. Our land is gonna go through these elements, right? Our what's it called? Our creatures and the things that we have in our control is gonna go through these elements. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. So at the when you was born, and then when you die, curses all through your whole life. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto, for to do, until thou be destroyed, until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Right? The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he hath consumed thee from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. Right? Getting sick and going through these ailments. Right? Pestilence, that's hard. People getting sick like the Black Plague. Right? That was killing Jakes. The Lord shall smite thee with the consumption, and with the fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with the blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And the heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. So it's going to be weighing down on you. Right? The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. So it's not going to be rain. It's going to be a drought. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. And that happened multiple times. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And that's why Israel is scattered from the 4 corners of the earth, because of these curses. Right? And it says up at 25, the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. That's why we keep getting killed all the time by our enemies everywhere, right? Just even here in Babylon, the cops be killing. They had the KKK. They got just people that hate Negroes, just killing them for sport, right? Going to 26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Right? So like 70 AD, when they just be killing us and be, leaving us in the streets, even hanging us here in America, and just letting our bodies rot off the tree. Right? The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods and the scabs, and with the itch whereof thou canst not be healed. Right? Again, plagues of Egypt. Right? The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. So it's going to be like you're going to be away from the truth. You're not even going to know what the truth is. Right? You're not going to you're going to be blind to the truth, and you're going to be astonished like, how is all this coming upon us? And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind grope in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be onely oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Right? We're totally destroyed. Right? Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Right? So we're not going to reap what we sow. Right? We're going to have, the women are going to be out of order. Right? They're going to be like there was lying with our women during slavery. Right? And now they get with the a woman will get with you, and then she break up with you and get with another man, right? And it says, thou shalt plant a vineyard and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Thine ox shall be slain before thy eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. We're not gonna be looked at as a pillar of as help, right? Because we're gonna need help, because the Lord is doing this against us, right? Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand, right? Because we're going straight into captivity, right? Our kids are going straight into captivity. You have a kid here, and you know in the truth, you know that they're going straight into captivity, and that's hard, right? Even when we was not in the truth, we knew that Esau was over us. We just didn't know that he was the Edomites, the wicked of the Bible, right? And also during slavery, they separated the families. They take your son and throw him to the alligators, and take your daughter and probably rape him, and then send her off to another plantation, right? The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Right? They got everything. Right? The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. Right? And that's just pains, just continually. Right? The Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. Right? In the Americas, because what was before we learn about this truth, and it was open unto the world, as in Elijah coming back in the reincarnation, being Abba Bivens, right? We was serving these other gods, right? Because we didn't know. We had the right book, but we didn't even understand it, right? If you had the right book, you could be in all these other religions, right? These other idols. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. That's why they call you niggers and spicks and wetbacks and all these other bywords, right? Mexican. Like, these are, we're the children of Israel, right? Thou shalt carry much seed. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Right? And precept here says Micah 6 and 15. 39. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thine oil shall cast his fruit. Dang. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Right? Because you can't really enjoy them, because you know that this is the place that this place is designed for us to suffer. All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall locusts consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Right? Thou shalt lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. Right? So it's talking about these other nations, right? These Edomites, right? Because we're supposed to be on high, right? We're supposed to be rulers of the whole earth, but now we're servants, right? He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him, because what? These the banks lend to you, but you don't lend to the banks, right? He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Right? Which is a period of time, because when Yahawashi comes back and redeems the elect, is redeeming us from these curses. And these are slave masters. Because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Because if we would have been doing that, we wouldn't have gone off. Right? Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee. Right? So yeah, we had that yoke of iron on our neck. Right? We was actual like slaves, because we're slaves now, but it's a different type of slavery. We was slaves. They had to put us in chains and stuff. They had to punish us, because if we was gonna be running away and such like that. But it says, thou shalt serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. Because we got to go to these Edomites, to these other nation stores and such. We don't have our own community, right? We have to go to them for all things. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Right? So this other nation, these Grecians, right? A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard a person of old, nor show favor to the young. Right? And it's going down to the Edomites. And ye shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kin, or flocks of thy sheep, until he hath destroyed thee. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy power hath given thee. In the siege of Jerusalem, they put a barrier around us, right? So we couldn't go nowhere. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which the Lord thy power hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee. So that's what was happening, because we didn't have no food. We resorted to eating. I'm talking us as a people, right? The ones that were caught up in that siege, right? That didn't flee to the mountains as Yahawashi commanded, right? They was eating their children. They was doing anything to survive, but they weren't serving the Lord in spirit and in truth, right? So that the man that is tender and delicate among you, and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Right? So it's that's why these people, we don't, us as a people, we don't trust each other, right? Think that they're gonna do something bad to you, and you gotta be on your watch like that, because they will. 55. That's why we can't unite, because there's always gonna be some wicked niggas out there, right? So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards her, the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter. And if you grow up anywhere in this, if you're an Israelite, you know this is happening to you, right? And it's because they put the woman over us during slavery, and put that mindset that us as a man, we're nothing, right? And towards her young one that cometh out of from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, where thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gate. So they was getting vile, right? If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahawah thy power, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long countenance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance, because it feels like it's lasting forever. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. That's wild. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, then will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. There's things that not even written in this book that's happening to us. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy power. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. Right? That's why we don't possess Israel no more. Right? The Holy Land, Jerusalem. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone, right? These idols. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. This place isn't for rest, right? It was built for our destruction. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. It's like, oh, when's the next time I'm just going to be at a parking spot? Somebody's going to come up to me and just bland my head off, right? Or one of my kids, or rape one of my kids, or something like that. You never, all these terrors. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. That's why even you be having friends, they be dying so young, and then you be like, damn, if I make it to 16, I'm good. I'm good if I make it to 16. That's all I want. If I make it to 17, there's some spirit working on me or something. In the morning thou shalt say, with the Most High, it were even, and at even thou shalt say with the Most High, it were morning, for fear of thine heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Be like, can this day be over? You know? And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, right? So that's why we're over here in the Americas, right? By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, which is the Holy Land. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Nobody's going to take you out of this situation, right? So that was all the curses. Yeah. Yeah, but this is St. John 14 and um, um, 21. This is Yahawashi speaking. He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me, and he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him, and will manifest myself to him. Right? And going on, 22. Judas said unto him, not Iscariot, Lord, how is it that thou wilt manifest thyself unto us and not unto the world? Yahawashi answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. He will love me not. He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings, and the word which you hear is not mine, but the Father's which sent me. These things have I spoken unto you, being yet present with you. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things, and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. Right? Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, but give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Right? Um, Ye have heard how I said unto you, I go away and come again unto you. If ye love me, you would rejoice, because I said, I go unto the Father, for my Father is greater than I. And now I have told you before it come to pass, that when it is come to pass, ye might believe. Right? Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh and have nothing in me, which is the devil, right? Which is wickedness, which is the Edomites, right? Because they rule the world. But that the world may know that I love the Father, and as the Father gave me commandment, even so I do. Arise, let us go hence. Right? And because we're gonna be redeemed from these times, right? We're the ones being built up, right? This is and Lord willing, we're of the elect. This is 1 Peter 4:12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. Right? Because we're still under the curses. We're still going through other things, these demons and these other forces trying to take us out. Right? But we just gotta endure. Right? What's wrong with this? Right? We just gotta endure. Right? But rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Yahawashi suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of Yahawashi, happy are ye, for the Spirit of glory. And if the Most High resteth upon you, on their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. Right? And this is Revelation 3:12. Him that overcometh. Let me go up. And at 10, Revelation 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth, with that RFID chip. Behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Him that overcometh, for I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my power, and I will write upon him my new name. Right? And that's coming down. That's because it's in us. We're that spiritual place, that spiritual temple. This is 1 Peter 2:5. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahawashi. Right, so we're building ourselves up, right? Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi is building us up to do this work, right? It's not us doing it; it's the will of the Most High that's making us do it, right? But yeah, we're gonna be redeemed in those times. Get one more precept. This is Revelation 20:6. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death have no power, but they shall be priests of the Most High and of Yahawashi, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Right? This is Revelation 15:1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. And 7 just means completion, which is the exact amount of plagues. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High, because the chariot floor is going to be glass. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of the Most High, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord power almighty, just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy, for all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. Right? And this is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Right? And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, This was he whom we have sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How was he numbered among the children of the Most High? His lot is among the saints. So those that are the elect are gonna be seeing him, be like, how was he the one that is gonna get all this glory, right? How is he the one that's fulfilling the prophecy of Revelation 7, right? How are they, right? Because it's gonna be 144,000, right? And the 1/3 is gonna make it too. 1/3 of the nation of Israel. So with that, I want to say, call the hallelujah Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. Call the hallelujah Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, and shalom to the sincere Akim doing this work in truth and sincerity, right? Because we want to be numbered in Revelation 7, right? We want to be serving the Most High in spirit and in truth. That's why we got into this thing, to serve the Most High in spirit and in truth, right? So, shalom.